Hello, my friends. Welcome to a live stream. Hey, Guillaume. Hello, everyone else who's here and watching the replay. It's Intimate Alien Week. We're so excited to talk to her. I haven't talked to her. Well, I mean, I've talked to her, but I haven't been her in a month because, frankly, I haven't been ready. I haven't been ready to hear her endless positivity. And so I'm finally ready. And I hope you're ready too. And already her theme for today, choose yourself. I think we're all ready for this. We're all ready to choose ourselves, and not in the negative connotation that so many of us have with that word selfish. I was just talking to my neighbor about this morning. What selfish does and doesn't mean. If we're making a decision that's in alignment with us and being selfish, we're actually helping all those people around us. So we're not taking away from them. So I'm sure Intimate Alien will go into greater detail. But thanks for being here and choosing yourself in this moment. And hi, Jana. It's so good that you're here. All right. Well, I'm into her makeup today. I really like it.
Well, it's funny. I've been looking at you for several minutes. Hey, everybody, Carrie rolled on. And I was looking at my own self. Like, I feel like I look so washed out compared to like the jewel tones that is Intimate Alien today. I just had a comment on selfishness. Or maybe for me, it's not a comment on selfishness, but selflessness. Like I just was really raised to see being selfless as a virtue. And it's taken a long time for me to realize that, like, oh, actually abandoning myself for the sake of others doesn't really help others. And,
yes.
But it's taken a long time. And so even selfish, like for me, there's still a difference between like choosing myself and being a selfish asshole, you know, like I still like, in theory, I understand like if you always choose in your best interest, like, but I feel like there's a way to do that without being a dick to everyone else.
Being in alignment.
Yes. But I think for me, it's not so much about like being selfish as it is just learning to not be selfless.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing, right? Like you grew up with a framework of selflessness, and so you've had to discover the opposite of that.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up with that notion. I just grew up with the idea of like, you know, do what your dad told you to do or do what your teacher told you to do, right? Like don't think about what you want to do. Think about whatever authority figure is asking you to do, right? So in that way, I've always had a connection to myself. I've always known how I feel about things pretty much. Not, you know, to like, there's always times where I have blind spots, but like, I think that's why I did drop out of school and I have, you know, quit so many jobs and I have moved on in a lot of ways from things because I can't lie to myself for very long, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, where I think I'm excited to talk to Intimate Alien about this because I think I've always known how I felt too, and learned to override that for the sake of other people, and that it would like someday be rewarded.
Right. Well, that's what religion teaches, right? Religion is like, be a selfless person, do it for everyone else, and then in the kingdom of heaven you shall be rewarded, right? Well,
Yeah.
that's not what Jesus was talking about, so I don't know where they got that, but
I just sort of thought like it would happen, you know, like other people would see my selfless acts and reward me or something. And
they'll just give you more to do.
Well, that's what happened. I remember having to tell my husband at some point in our marriage, like, I think it was hard for him because he really loved me. But one of the things he loved about me was like how easy it was to get along with me because I was always going to put his needs or our family's needs ahead of my own. And when I kind of told him, like, you know, I feel like I'm swallowing pieces of myself, like a little bit of me is dying every day. And he was like, oh, for real? Like, you know, it's sort of like, I thought you just loved that. So anyhow, Yeah, I'm excited about choosing myself more. And I'm excited to talk to Intimate Alien about just going deeper into what she talked about at the beginning of the year. So
Cool. All right. Well, we'll get into it. And if anyone has any comments or questions, feel free to put it in the chat. Also, let us know how you feel about these live streams, because Carrie and I are thinking, do we need to change things up? Let us know if you want a different format or topics, or leave everything right as it is because you love it. Whatever you feel about that, let us know. Chime in. Okay. She's so freaking excited. We are here. Hello. Hello. There are lots of white things floating outside. It's very fun. Very, very fun. What are we doing today? We are speaking. We are talking. Where do you want to start?
well,
you tell me, how are you feeling? How are you feeling these days? How is your world treating you? How are you treating yourself?
okay, guys, answer that in the chat. How are you feeling these days? How is the world treating you? How are you treating yourself? Intimate Alien, I have been sick for most of February, and I have felt
Oh, that is a long time.
yes, and I have felt like I can't. I've been having trouble remembering myself. So I know you've been in Rachel's body only a few times when she's like sick. So I don't know if you're familiar with that, like feeling detached from yourself feeling, but that's how I've been feeling. And I'm starting to feel
Well,
the other end.
what are you avoiding from your higher self? Why are you pushing your higher self away by becoming sick? What do you not agree with that they are feeling for you?
Oh, that's such a good question. Um, I think I have some fear of taking action. So maybe there's, oh, no. I'm thinking like I have a little bit of like feeling like there's some shoulds. Like I've got some shoulds on me. And so I've been like, I don't necessarily want to do those things. And so being sick has been a good coping mechanism.
Well, maybe that your higher self would not force you into an action, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I feel like my higher self is like, maybe you tell me. I've been choosing to see this as a gift, as a like just like full stop. Uh get some rest, stop trying, and let whatever is coming to me show up. Cuz yeah, I'm not sure. Do you have any insight?
Well, maybe, as you say, see this as a reset and decide how you want to move forward. And if it feels good, then you are in harmony. You may be able to access something now that some momentum has died away.
Yes. I think so. What's been happening, and I see that people are putting a few of their feelings in the chat, but what has been happening is uh I'll think I'm feeling better and I'll make a list. I'll get of like, okay, these are things I want to do today. And then after very little time has passed, I am like depleted and just need to lie down and do nothing for a longer amount of time. So I've been choosing to honor that. But just yesterday and today, the like inspired feelings are starting to come back. So
Great.
yeah. And the powerful, centered, grounded. Like I'm not living in it 100% of the time, which is why I think I'm needing a lot of naps and getting a lot of headaches. But there is definitely like a newer, more empowered, more confident, more relaxed version of me that would like to come out and play.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, we have been hearing Rachel wrestle with the world lately, and she has been wondering just how to approach life right now. How, let's say in your very funny words, how many fucks to give, right? How hard do you resist or wrestle, or what, how do you take a stand without resistance, right? How do you make the world a better place right now? How do you do that? And she has been wondering what that really looks like. And we just want you to know, go to your fifth dimensional home. Go there. And what is there? Only well-being, only abundance, only joy, only joy, enjoyment, happiness, fulfillment. Her body is relaxing as we speak. So if you can accomplish resistance with joy, then go for it. But that's very hard for you all. So try to be your most fabulous, wonderful, expressive, genius selves in the happiest way that you can manage, because that will grow that vibration on your planet. That is the helping. The helping is showing there's another path. There is a path to success that does not rely on the people you do not like, right? That is resistance, but in the smart way. The smart way. So spend your time choosing yourself. Spend your time doing things you love. Spend your time feeling good. Feeling good helps everyone. So this, Rachel gets it. This is a definitive answer to that question. How can you make the world a better place right now? How can you care so deeply right now about the people who you see are feeling hurt? How? Live your absolute best life. That is a lifeline. It shows people that they are connected too.
So I have a little resistance to that.
Yes, you all do.
Yeah, and intellectually I'm like, yes, live my best life. Like there's something that's like, be a beacon of light that I can get behind. And there is something about, and maybe this goes to Rachel and I were having a conversation before you got here about selfishness. But like, there's something about like being out there, living my most amazing life, knowing people are suffering.
See, but the thing is, people will always suffer because people will choose suffering. You can't go and tap everyone on the shoulder and say, hey, did you know you could be happy right now? They will punch you in the face. They don't want to hear that. They want to choose suffering. And so you can be an example. Be an example of someone choosing the opposite of suffering. Be an example of someone who can live happily, right? Because if you can live happily right now, then so can they. And they don't want to hear that, really. They want to see it. They want you to prove it. It's not your job to do this for them, but it is a side effect that is well worth it.
Okay. So I want to say hello to Ren. Ren says they're new and just got a new subscriber. So hi.
Hello. We are glad you are here.
And hopefully you're here for the same reason so many of us are, which is, right, to live more often in our highest vibration possible. And we're talking about how we're feeling right now and how to choose ourselves. So you said go to the fifth dimension where only well-being lives. Remember that as often as we can. And Rachel has a question that she asked me, I don't know how many years ago, but it's so helpful when I remember it, which is just, what is the best feeling I can feel right now? I was just pause. What's the best feeling I have access to right now?
That is for you, Guillaume. That is your answer.
Yes. And I hear you. So I guess I'm asking for even more relaxing. I'm hearing you. I think it's this. I have a lot of privilege, right? So I can live right now feeling relatively safe, feeling relatively comfortable. I mean, there's some things going on in the world that I would prefer weren't, but in terms of like direct impact on me, the price of groceries sucks, but I can manage. I can choose happiness in this. And I don't want to see other people as victims, but I also don't want to pretend that, I can just tap my neighbor on the shoulder who has a very different set of circumstances and say, no, look over here. It's fine. Do you know what I'm saying?
But we are not asking you to do that because, as you just said, that doesn't feel good. So that's not part of a life living in happiness. So part of what you get to do when you are really living in alignment, when you are really living in well-being, is that you feel secure enough and abundant enough to live your values. So what are part of your values? Part of your values are probably sharing, giving to others, right? Part of your values are buying things from places where you like what happens to the money, right? Living your values means what else? What other good things come out of you when you are happy? A lot more than if you are upset.
Yes.
Right? Living in well-being gives you a cup that's overflowing. What do you do with that? You share it. So it's really a fallacy to think that you need to be suffering in order to help others, when really, when you are suffering, you are of no help at all.
Amen. That is so true.
Yes. So do not resist feeling good. You will not turn into a bad, out of touch person. Quite the opposite.
Okay. I know that to be true. And it reminds me of, this idea about money and what money does to people. And if you're already a terrible person, more money is just going to sort of show all the ways you're kind of a terrible person. And if you're already an amazing person, more money is just going to show all the fun ways that you are an amazing person. So Ren has a question. I feel left out in my family. So how do I live with that?
Well, that is a very tough circumstance because you are brought up in this world to believe that the love of your family should be given, right? That you should automatically have unconditional love and acceptance. And that's very hard when you don't feel that's true. But most people in this world have no idea how to offer unconditional love. They do not know what that means or how that could possibly exist because they've never felt unconditional love. So the best thing that you could do is find that within yourself and give it to yourself, right? We don't know if you meditate or not, but if you sit down and get quiet, and maybe you need to give it a lot of time, weeks of practice to be able to feel this if you have a very active mind. But when you sit down, focus on receiving the love of your higher self, or if that's not a word you use, receiving your own love. I love myself today. I will receive my own love today. I will love me today. I will shine love here. Practice that. And we promise that you will start to feel so much love for yourself that whatever anyone is feeling about you won't matter at all. So shifting where you're looking for love to receive love really helps, because you have the ability to love yourself and feel it.
And as you're just talking about that intimate alien, it's sometimes easier to give love unconditionally to strangers. And I've never met you. I've never seen your profile. My whole experience with you is from looking at your comments in the chat right now. But I hope that you're able to receive the unconditional love that I am sending to you right here in this red hot minute. Just knowing you are complete and lovable as you are. You are worthy of every dream, every desire that you've ever had. You're not here by accident. And the people in your life who are unable to give you what you need, they need it just as much, right? They need it too. So I'm just sending you total, unconditional, abundant love. If you, one of the best things that you can do is just hold on to your own body. You can rub your arms like this and just give yourself a hug, and know that that's coming from me. That's coming from Rachel. That's coming from everyone here on the channel. Yeah, you're amazing, and we love you.
Yes, there really is no shortage of love. It's just most people are not practiced at finding it and feeling it. And hello, nice to see you all. So
oh, go ahead.
Rachel was saying before this call that she knows herself, and she knows what she likes, and she knows what she wants, and she knows how she wants to spend her time. And she is now in a position more than ever to really accept that and to act on that more than ever before. And that is also true for you. When you have great contrast in your world, you know yourself even more. You sort of come more into clarity. And so take that information and put it to good use. Do more of what you love. Do act in ways that lift you up, because that will only make life easier for you.
So can you give us, when you say do more of what you love, what is that, if you don't mind, or if Rachel doesn't mind, like what does that look like for Rachel right now? What would you suggest that she do?
Well, for Rachel, it is doing some more quilt designing and sewing, using quilting as more of a creative expression rather than just a hobby of sewing someone else's pattern. She used to do lots more designing, and she has ideas. She just hasn't really set aside time to do that. Doing more reading, fiction reading. She really enjoys that. More writing. More outside time, right? So she does some of those things, but she could do more. And if you ask yourself, well, I'm already so busy, how do I fit more into my schedule? Well, you can replace some things. There's got to be something you can replace and upgrade your schedule, right? We're not trying to pack more in, trying to replace and upgrade?
That sounds so good. This idea of upgrading your schedule. And even as you're saying that, I'm thinking about me being sick and like really not having done much for the past couple of, well, at least 10 days or so. It is nice as I'm re-entering the world to re-enter with choice. Like, how do I want to spend today? Like I feel like there's so many things, so many balls that got dropped, like things that just fell off my calendar that have, that it is like, okay, it's like completely approaching things in a new way. And so I like asking that. Doing more of what I love doesn't mean, I think this is a hard thing for me to get. And so maybe a lot of you, finishing what I don't like so that I can then do what I love.
Definitely not. No. If you haven't finished it and you don't want to finish it, don't finish it. Don't finish it. It might come back around. You don't know. It's not dead. It's just dormant. And start to be okay with the trees go dormant every winter. They do not die. They come back renewed, right? So remember, dormancy is okay, right? Sometimes things need to grow. You need to grow before you come back to it. So relax about that.
Okay. Well, we are just almost at time. So today's theme was choose yourself. It was, Rachel was a little bit afraid of your positivity.
Oh, nothing to be afraid of here.
But it does feel timely that we can relax, can remember our truth. We can choose to do only what we love.
We just want to say that there is a name Lavender here written by Ren. And can we just tell you, Ren, that we borrowed Rachel's Lavender Blush today. And so this was for you. We always do our makeup for some reason, for some person. And today it was for you. So you can let your girlfriend know that she was featured today on my cheeks.
I love it.
Well, yes, continue choosing yourself, continue finding well-being, and we will all see you again very soon.
All right. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys.
Bye for now.